Hello learners, welcome to this session of BLS Online. We are in the course BLI 221 and we will be discussing types of libraries. We have also taken up this topic, but today we will be discussing the types of libraries in a little detail. We will be talking of the functions, processes and services of these types of libraries, and we will devote one more session later on to the types of libraries. Why 3 sessions on types of libraries? Because this is an important topic for us to know, because we have learnt about the role of library in society. Later on we have moved on to the types of libraries. We began with a general discussion on the types of libraries. Now we will be discussing in detail about these, and since there are different types of libraries, we need to devote some more sessions on this. Now, we had discussed earlier about the types of libraries, and we know that these are of the following types as you see on your screen: academic libraries, public libraries, special libraries, digital libraries, virtual libraries. We had also discussed that there might be some different classifications, but then the basis of classification may be different, but whatever we include in all these types of libraries, they will be included in those also. So basically we have divided these types of libraries on the type of clientele, on the types of users. We also use the type of materials as a criteria when we talk of these types of libraries. Now let us discuss about these one by one. We begin with academic libraries because we have been using these libraries, and therefore we have used them, we have seen them, we know about these libraries. In academic libraries, we start with school library, since this was the first library. Maybe before that we would have used our public library, a library in the vicinity of our house, maybe would have used it, and while we were in schools we were using public libraries also quite often. Now in school library, we all know that it is part of the school curriculum, and the school library is basically the library that aims at developing reading habits among children. You know, a child when goes to the school, there is a set routine that the child follows. There are classes, and at times there is a fear also in the children to go to the school, and they don't want, because they don't want to part way with their parents and other family members. So in the school also initially and also later on, a type of environment is there so as to make the place comfortable for the child, and the child enjoys being in the school, in the company of friends, in the company of teachers. Similarly in the library also an inviting atmosphere is created so that the child loves coming to the library. And library, as the school has different periods for different subjects, similarly there is a period for the library also. Besides that period, the library is open and the children have the liberty of visiting the library, though it is generally with the teacher. They are accompanied by the teacher, and the reason being that there has to be someone to guide the children towards using the library. So this is the first step towards building reading habits among children. They are introduced to books. They are guided to develop a friendship with books. They are taught how to be with books, how to be in the company of books, how to enjoy being with books, how to learn with books, how to develop a reading habit that is so important for us throughout our life. So this is the first phase of library helping us in this society, and the most important phase. So not only developing a reading habit and love for books also helps in curriculum transaction. Doesn't mean that what the children are taught in the class they will do additional readings, but then they may be introduced to books which are audiovisual in nature, or they in a different medium they help the children to develop their learning. In fact, there are schools where you find library as part of the classroom also. Though there is a library in addition to that, but then classrooms are also equipped with books which need to be consulted or need to be shown by the teacher while the classroom goes on. So there are schools with set of books which are useful in the classroom learning and teaching. So library imbibed, library immersed within the classroom, as we have been talking these days of immersive libraries. So the concept was there earlier also of this, while the teacher teaches, shows different types of books to make learning and enjoyment and fun for the children. So the library is there in the classroom also. Librarian also acts as a teacher. In fact, they call him library teacher also at times, because the librarian also is involved in curriculum transaction, and not only involved in making learning easy, but also doing activities outside the classroom that help teaching learning, that the teacher would like to take place so that the children get along with the teacher and learning. So it's an important activity in the library. Now, what sort of services a school library provides? As with any other library, issue return or lending services is an important service of any school library, and generally it is here that the librarian plays a very important role. The librarian knows about the children. There are different type of children. Some are outgoing, some are introverts, some are extra active, and some are little afraid also, and some have a taste for books and a particular type of taste. So it is here that the librarian, knowing about the child, knowing what is missing in the child, what needs to be taken care of more in developing the personality of children, the librarian prescribes books for the children. They in fact tell the children, you go and read this book, you take this book, and when the book is returned next time by the child, the librarian may also like to know from the child what you read in the book, what did you find out in this book, what was interesting. You may even like to ask the children to narrate what they have read. So that is a step-by-step procedure which the librarian follows to see that yes, children read it, children develop that habit of using the library. Reference service, no library can be thought of without reference service being provided in the library. But the form and type of reference service is different in different types of libraries. As we have been saying and repeating all the time that developing a love for books, developing a fondness of books, developing a positive feeling towards coming to the library and using the library. And it is here that the reference service, because generally school libraries are manned by a single staff, therefore you cannot have different staff providing the service. So reference service is always on in the school library. The librarian trying to identify children and the activities that they are doing, and seeing at a distance and helping them whenever they are in trouble or need, and also silently helping the children to develop them. So that reference service is always there. In later classes, as the children grow towards primary classes and middle and higher secondary classes, the guidance and advisory services also come into play. In fact, reference service also takes different shape with the levels of the school. With the higher classes, the reference service is different, because once in the junior classes the children have been introduced to books, they have started developing that love for books, and they keep on reading, adding more and more books to their bag of learning. The librarian keeps on helping them to further their interests and increase and advance their learning. But as children grow, their curriculum needs increase more. They would like to have more books in their subject so that they are able to do wide reading. It's not that the children are satisfied only with the set of books that have been prescribed, or the set of books that are being prescribed for the curriculum and examination. They would like to read additional books. They would like to read some more books in addition to these, and therefore it is here that the reference service that the librarian provides, the librarian comes to know of their interests and needs and requirements and helps to procure all that and provide to the children. At the same time, also brings to their knowledge what in addition they could read, because when they provide reference service, it's a one-to-one service. They try to identify the needs and requirements which are different for different children, and they cater to their needs and requirements. And it's not merely the printed world, it is the electronic world that you have a lot of information, lot of books, and you have to guide the children towards using those books and information. Now, counseling is also a very important service in schools, and counseling is there in all types of libraries, and it is in a different form in school libraries. And particularly when the children are in the higher classes, they need to be advised and counseled as far as how they can take up their further career, how they can opt for the specialization, like whether they should take up subjects that belong to arts or social sciences, humanities or sciences. The librarian can play a role here in addition to the parents and the teachers. Once the children are there in the higher classes, they need to be told and guided about the different examinations that take place, and they can opt for careers and appear for competitive examinations, and what sort of forms have to be filled, what sort of additional guidance is available in the form of coaching or something. So it is here that the librarian, along with the teacher and the parents, plays a very important role, and thus school library services are very important. Let us move to the next level, the college library. Once the child is out of the school, he has learnt the importance of a library, and he has taken up this interest of reading books and being in the company of books, treating books as their friends. Now, in a college library, the curriculum is heavier, and the children and the students, they want more wider additional readings in their subjects, and therefore it is here that the concept of self-learning takes place, is introduced, because it's not that in the classroom everything is discussed or the lecture method is followed. There are assignments given, activities given, and it is here that the library has a very important role to play, because it is a classroom outside the classroom. It enables children to do group activities, they can take up projects, they can even have discussions can take place in the library. Even not only amongst the children or amongst the class fellows, but also the teacher can also be there. There can be a mentor also, maybe who is not a teacher, maybe a librarian, and discussions take place, and that helps the students to find out alternative ways of learning, non-formal learning, informal learning outside the classroom. So it is here that in self-learning, library plays a very important role. Within the limits of the time in the classroom or otherwise the interaction of the student with the teacher, you cannot always expect the teacher to transact and to discuss different ways or different contexts, the curriculum or the views in a particular discipline, and therefore here the children should read as wide as possible, and it is here that the literature awareness is very important among the students, and the librarian is an expert in this area. He should introduce the different types of literature that is available in the discipline and tell the students what is the difference between the different types of literature, what is a textbook, what is a book which is not a textbook, why a book other than textbook is also important, how to use reference books, how to make use of a dictionary, an encyclopedia, a gazetteer, a map, a globe, and all sorts of reading material. So this is a very important stage where children develop a sound base in the discipline in which they want to do higher studies, and also widen their horizons, because the different people discussing the same subject may do it in different levels, in different contexts, in different styles, and therefore this is a real help that the college library helps the students to develop. So what sort of services you expect in a college library? Any library other than the libraries which are reference libraries have this lending service as part of one of these services, issue return services. So a college library also provides this issue return service or lending service, and in this textbook section is very important in a college library. In fact, there is a book bank section also as part of textbooks. Those textbooks which are prescribed and are really required for children, they are provided to them for the whole session as part of book bank, and they are given these books for the whole semester, and they can keep them and use them because these are required throughout the session. It is felt that every student should have that book with them while the session goes on. So otherwise textbooks are important, and generally there is a textbook section, and these are issued for a limited period. Otherwise from the book bank they are given for a longer period. Reference service, as we have said, that it is also there in all libraries, and college libraries have a little additional staff, 1 or 2 professionals and 1 or 2 semi-professionals, and further other staff also. Now these people they are engaged in providing reference service, and it is a continuation of what it was done in school library, but then since the needs and requirements of students are different, the reference service also takes a little different shape. In reference service now there is little more pressure towards these professionals who are manning these services, because students demand, they want, and otherwise also the library has a responsibility to see that they provide this service more actively. They bring to the notice of students what all is there in the library, what in addition has come which they can make use of. And particularly since there is a intellectual abilities have to be further developed, new knowledge has to be brought to their notice. Therefore you have a periodical section also in a college library, and the college library subscribes to magazines and also some learned periodicals, because it is here that the students are geared up for taking up further higher studies. Therefore it is the duty of the reference staff to bring the children, the students, into contact with such higher level material, and they develop a taste and ability to study such periodicals and learn from them, because further higher at the postgraduate level they have to use these more often. So it is here in the college that they are introduced to the periodicals and the primary sources of literature. Current awareness service is again here, though not to that scale as in university and research libraries, but then the current developments may be in their fields broadly, or in general awareness has to be built in the college students, and therefore for that current awareness services like newspaper clippings, the recent happenings that are taking place, and the like developing interest in science also for non-science students also, and the developments otherwise in the politics, economics, and otherwise. It is very important for children for developing a personality, a balanced personality. So all these are part of college library services. Moving further to the university library, it is the highest seat of learning, and you have a wide variety of users here. Those who have just come to their postgraduate studies, those who are pursuing research and maybe at the first level like MPhil degree, or those who are in their doctoral degrees at a higher level of research, still higher level of research in the postdoctoral level, the otherwise researchers in the university, faculty. So now here you have a wide variety of clientele. They interact with each other also, they impress upon each other also, the atmosphere is there, and it is here that the concept of universal learning is there. People from different streams, different strata, from different cultures coming here, and it is here that the library has a real challenge of serving all these. And the library is not only to take part in the curriculum, in imparting the curriculum at different levels, but also helping research and the higher developments in learning and teaching in the university. And the university library plays a very important role in the university. In the university, research takes place, so the library has a role to help this research, to preserve this research, disseminate the research, and preserve for not only today, tomorrow also. Therefore, to create a repository of the knowledge that is created, that has been done in the university. These are the times of knowledge management. We are in the knowledge society, and therefore the library has to see that all knowledge that is created, that has been due to the university staff, the teachers, students, this is documented, this is made available for others to know, and therefore conservation of knowledge is very important part, a very important function of a university library. Therefore, issue return services is there, reference service is there, but information service, besides reference service, information service, we say information service because the users would like to have the exact information that they are interested in, as we said about researchers. So it's not that we are only providing macro documents but micro documents, and it has to be an active service, it has to be anticipatory. Therefore, current awareness service and selective dissemination of information has to be actively provided in such libraries, university and research libraries. Current awareness service is very important because the more the library provides a feedback to the learners, to the researchers, the better they do their research, they are able to know the frontiers of knowledge, the advancements in knowledge, and therefore they take up further from what has been done. Bibliographic services, literature search services, also not only providing just the list of references or the literature, but also the condensation and packaging type of services, preparing abstracts, reviewing state-of-the-art reports, so that they come to know in a gist, in a condensed form, what all has been done, and they can continue with that. Public library is a different type of library. It is open for all. It is most difficult for the library staff to serve people in public library because of the wide variety of clientele. You have children there, you have the young people, you have the adolescents there, you have the senior citizens, you have housewives, the working people, professionals. So see, the clientele is so wide that the library has to serve them all. But then the public library has a motto to serve one and all, and particularly to take care of their general awareness needs, of their health needs, of their educational needs. It is not so specific as far as curricula is concerned, because for that there are academic libraries, but then at the same time the public library has to see that it helps in universalization of education, in the culture being actively growing, the cultural information being transmitted to different people and different set of people, help in the governance, help in literacy, and therefore this has its own importance. And public library provides far and wide services and these are available at the place where people live, and therefore we have public libraries which are at different levels, at the village, taluk, district, state, and different levels these are there. And this is a happening place. You have book talks, you have exhibitions, you have movies, you have discussions, storytelling programs, and therefore for different class of people, different types of services. You may even have services which could go beyond documents only. So you make it a community information center, a community meeting place also, and organize activities so that people come together and discuss, interact. So it's a very important library. Now, special library. These are special to the institution, special to the subject, and they are of varied sizes. It depends on the institution that they serve. It may be an institution which has branches all over, which is a very big institution, and it could be a very small institution. Big and small doesn't mean that they are less, but big means they have large variety of clientele, and small means they have a very specific set of clientele. So the special library services are designed as per the specific needs of the institution, but then they issue return is not very important, books are not very important, textbooks are not there, but then their primary literature is very important. In primary literature, besides the journals, periodicals, but then patents, standards, specifications, all these are very important. It depends on what institution a special library is serving. Current awareness services, selective dissemination of information, because these are all attached to research institutions, therefore these are very important services. Then not only providing them full or broadly macro documents, but you need to provide them digest type of services, repackaged services, analytic, synthetic, and therefore products based on analysis and synthesis, critical reports. Therefore, such things are very important in a special library. We are in the digital world today. We see that digital information is pervading all over. Therefore, all libraries that we have discussed, they have created digital libraries also, and digital libraries provide information in digital form. We have been using different terms interchangeably: digital library, virtual library, electronic library, library without walls. Basically, we are stressing here on digital information. We are stressing here on information at a distance, and people mean different things when they talk of digital libraries. A database, people say it's a digital library. When you talk of a digital library, immediately what comes to your mind is that you make use of hypertext. You provide links, you provide a set of links so that a person can refer to one to the next and to the further. Similarly, you know it is provided at a distance. You make use of the web. And when you talk of from the library science point of view, you say that it is a step further in the process of automation. Now, there is a slight difference when you talk of a virtual library. Virtual library means that it doesn't have a collection of its own. It is a gateway to information. It provides links, and therefore it acts as a referral center. It refers you from one place to other place. And when you talk of a mix of these two, you call it a hybrid library. It is hybrid in nature. It has both print and electronic and digital information. Most of the libraries today in our society are hybrid in nature. You cannot think of a library which has only print, or which is generally not only digital, though there are purely digital libraries also. But then most of our libraries are hybrid in nature, like our university library, Indira Gandhi National Open University. It's a hybrid library. You think of a library and you will see that it has both print and non-print collection, and they have their own digital libraries, and they also provide links to other digital libraries. So the trend of the day is that libraries are hybrid in nature. They provide both print and digital collection access to both of them. So we have discussed today the different types of libraries. We have seen what sort of functions, activities and services they have, and how they are different from each other. And we can say that they are different because they have different clientele, they have different objectives, they have different mandates, and a library attached to an institution functions and works to furthering the objectives, mission and mandate of the institution. And you can have independent libraries also. Last time in our discussion we were talking of the National Library, and we have seen how it is different from the other types of libraries, but then it is at the top of the hierarchy, it guides other libraries, and these libraries all work together, and thus they act as an institution that helps in the development of a society, of a country. We will continue our discussion with digital libraries. Thank you.